Really?
Yeah, Tom Herman's bringing Texas back. You best believe it.
So that was kind of a breakdown of the teams and how they did. Now, what I wanted to do was break down some of our favorite teams, and of course, the one we don't like, Alabama.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure we even have time for that, though.
No?
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if we even have time for that.
Now, real quick, maybe Clemson, my team, and Miami, maybe?
Yeah, they better make it quick.
So we have Clemson. They signed Blake Vincent from North Marion, Florida. Balen Spector, T. Higgins, AJ Terrell, and they signed, big news, Dabo's son.
Yeah, see, he's a walk-on too, and they got Venable's son. He's going to be coming next year, I believe. Yeah, LSU is trying to recruit Venable's son. Like, that's going to fucking work. I mean, I don't think people understand. Like, everyone's freaking out, like, oh, Brent might leave. Listen, no. Brent Venables ain't going nowhere unless K-State comes open, and even then, I don't even know if he'd do it. The man likes it here quite a bit.
So, moving on, real quick, because I don't want to get too in depth in this. Notre Dame, they signed some pretty good guys. They have Brock Wright from Texas, Robert Hanson, Aaron Banks, CJ Holmes, and Isaiah Robertson. They should definitely make an impact there, but again, I think for them to have any change, they have to get rid of Kelly.
No, I think that should have been obvious from the jump that Kelly has to go. But hey, sometimes some people need to be smacked in the face 100 times, and then on the 101st time they get it. I mean, some people just don't have it. They just don't get it. I mean, the man obviously and clearly lost the team last year. Nobody wanted to play with him, for him, with him, anything. Like, they were done. They didn't want nothing to do with him. That should have been your cue right there. Like, this motherfucker's got to go. No, we'll keep him around. We'll just let the bleeding continue. I really, Notre Dame, I don't know what you were thinking. Maybe you just couldn't replace him. Maybe you thought that he turned it around. But I think that you're heading toward another 6-6 year at best. And it's just not good. The things are not going to continue to get better for you. They're going to continue to get worse.
Looking at Miami Hurricanes, they picked up Devonna Donaldson, DJ Dallas, Jonathan Garvin, Robert Burns, Murray Carver, Brian Palendi, Wayman Steed, Cade Weldon, Bradley Jennings Jr., and Zach Dykster. Some pretty big names there. They were all 4 or 5-star.
Yeah, those are all Max Prep list names. They're Sports 24/7 ranks, and then Max Prep. And who's the other person that does the talent? It's usually Max Prep and 24/7.
That's actually where I got my stuff from, the 24/7.
Yeah, they're pretty accurate.
They actually had a lot. I mean, you saw the pile of papers that I had just on the recruiting.
Well, not that, they keep up with the ESPN Top 200 or what. They keep up with all of it.
I mean, we could have literally done a whole 2-hour show just on the recruiting.
Oh, I know. You can make a whole day out of it. That ain't no lie.
I mean, I still had Alabama to talk about. We really didn't jump into too many of the names and, what stars they were, where they're from. Because, like I said, we could talk hours on the signing day.
That is true.
But I want to go ahead and now move into what we came here to do, and now talk a little bit of college basketball. And I'm sorry, badass, I'm going to trigger you. I know I don't like doing it, but we got to talk about it. Your boy's in the news again. Duke's Grayson Allen is in trouble again after getting into altercation with Wake Forest game on Saturday after a loose ball. A loose ball was like going towards the sidelines. They both went for it. A little bit of pushing went on, and the next thing you know, the bench is cleared.
Why does this not shock me, man? It's just Grayson Allen. He's just... I don't know how many times this asshole has to break a rule, fuck with somebody, trip someone, be a general douchebag, It just doesn't matter. You're just gonna let him keep fucking going. You don't stop him. You don't suspend him. You don't sit him down. You don't suspend his minutes. You just keep letting it happen. So you know what? When somebody actually throws an elbow or two and fucks this little bastard up, I don't want to hear no bitching. Ratface better fucking get back in his fucking bed and go back to having more surgery. I'm just sick and tired of this shit. You know, even Christian Leitner is probably saying, look at this fucking punk. I done told you, he's a poor man's JJ Redick. He's fucking sorry. And he's just a complete dick. I mean, how many times do you have to be called out for being an asshole before you finally straighten it the fuck up?
And then not only, it doesn't even end there. It gets even better because 2 days later, on Monday night, when they played Notre Dame, he got in trouble again. Actually, he didn't get in trouble because there was no foul called, but there's video evidence of him stomping on a Notre Dame player's foot, and no foul was called. I mean, it was plain as day. You can see it. I mean, the guy had his foot stomped on. He went down. Yep, no foul called.
That's all right. Somebody's going to fucking catch him. They're just going to punch him right in the shit like LeGarrette Blount did during that football game when he was at Oregon. Someone's just going to go right across his mouth and knock him out. And you know what? I fucking dare you spineless, nutless faggots. John Swafford, you number one. I fucking dare you to suspend the first person that Cole knocks that motherfucker out for being a little dick after you let him act this way. I dare you. I motherfucking dare you. Because that is almost enough for me to take off a day from work, drive all the fuck way up to Raleigh-Durham, and find you, and fucking treat you like the little bitch that you are. So fuck you, John Swafford. You let this shit... This is your child. You created this monster. You let this shit happen. So when it gets real, you better not start bitching and whining and moaning, because there's only so much of this fucking shit people are going to take, especially from Duke. It's already Duke. They don't have any shortage of hate. And then you just add to it, and you keep adding to it. So when the motherfucking pot boils over...
I mean, again, like you said numerous times now with Grayson Allen, when is enough enough? When do you start actually throwing the book at him? I mean... When did it get to the point where you say, this guy's just a little punk-ass bitch, you need to do something about him, or you just take matters in your hand and accidentally catch a bow?
Next sports story that we probably have on Grayson Allen's about someone's going to hit him, I'm telling you. We're eventually going to be having this discussion, only instead of Grayson Allen doing something, it's going to be Grayson Allen got fucked up. I mean, shit, his own teammates might fuck him up, dude. That's how much of a dick he is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's a pure old dick. I mean, like you said, poor man's JJ Redick.
Very much so.
So looking at some of the games last week that were kind of big news, on Thursday we had number 19 Cincinnati defeating number 24 Xavier. We had number 3 Gonzaga blowing out San Diego State 79-43. And we have Arizona continue its winning streak, defeating Washington 79-62.
That's not too bad. I mean, I'm actually quite proud of how the picks have been going for us here lately.
Yeah, we're going to get into that just here in a few minutes, because we did really good. I'm actually proud. Like you said, I'm proud of what we've done so far.
Yeah, if we're considering that our forte is not college basketball, we're doing just fine.
I mean, guys, when we started our college football show, we had no intents and purposes of going into college basketball.
None whatsoever.
We kind of just came up with it. I was like, well, what are we doing next? How about college basketball? Yeah, that sounds a good idea. Sure, let's try it out. We've never done it before, but hell, can't be too bad at it. We did pretty good in football this year. Can't be too bad at basketball. And I'm actually pretty proud of how we've done so far this year.
I am too, because you guys got to remember, we're not Vegas guys.
We're just two guys from South Carolina.
Making picks.
Doing what we love.
That's it. No bullshit, no gimmick, no bunk. There is no fucking catch. There is no, but wait, there's more. There is none of that. We don't have credit cards at the day. We're not hanging with Mafia. We wish we were hanging with Mafia and Pharrell, but hey, we're not big timers.
Not yet.
Not yet. We don't do that. We wish we did, but we don't. We're just two regular fucking guys, man. Working class dudes. We get up, we go to work in the morning, and then every Wednesday, we happen to just bring you some realness. Whether or not you like it, we don't give a fuck. That's up for you to decide. But we're going to keep bringing the thunder.
Speaking of the D, I don't know if you've been listening this week, but Pharrell and Mafia, they're out in
going ape shit.
They're out in Vegas. I mean, the other night, me and you were listening to him, and somehow, I don't know how he got on the topic, but somehow I got on the topic of his dog humping his daughter's leg and looking at him. I was like, I turned that on and I'm like, what in the fuck are we listening to right now? Like, what is Pharrell talking about? And he was just wound the fuck up like Pharrell always is. But he was like a little more wound up than usual. You know, of course, I'm probably doing a show live from Vegas. That had a little to do with it because he gets a little wiry when he gets to Vegas. I mean, he's already a wiry guy. When he gets to Vegas, he becomes twice as wiry.
Coming from a man who calls his wife by her nickname on show 34C, nothing surprises me.
Nah, me either. But Pharrell's a good guy. I like him. I'd rather listen to him for 12 hours than listen to old Fat Lip Tula for 20 minutes.
Oh, I agree. Not to mention the fact that when he did a Facebook Live show, he gave a shout out to my wife, man. So, from me to you, Pharrell, thank you, brother.
I'm a little jealous of that, I'm not going to lie.
You should be. You should be.
I'm very jealous.
You should be.
So moving on to Saturday's games, it was a, what you call, upset Saturday.
Yeah, it certainly was.
I mean, you had some big games. You had number 2 Kansas edging out number 4 Kentucky 79-73.
That was a good game.
That was a really good game. I actually watched a little bit of the game, and that was a hell of a game. I mean, I thought Kentucky was going to pull it out in the end, but Kansas just came a little bit harder.
A little bit too strong for him that day.
We had Syracuse, unranked, upsetting number 6 Florida State 82-72.
Which Jim Boeheim will do. Just when you think, he ain't got shit and he's out. No, he can still win. Listen, the man can coach. He is one of the greats for a reason.
Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot. I called this one. Miami shot number 9 North Carolina 77-62.
And they did. They actually put it on North Carolina because a lot of people didn't think that they had the shooters to actually do it because you know how North Carolina is. They're off the fucking glass with those rebounds and then they'll just run the ball down points. But seemingly Miami knew that was going to be their game plan and they were ready for it.
Well, they were definitely ready for it.
They were ready.
You had unranked Colorado surprising number 10 Oregon 74-65. My boys, Georgetown, upsetting number 11 Butler 85-81. I mean, Georgetown's not had a great year this year. That's why I really haven't talked about them much. Kind of like what Notre Dame this year. I didn't talk about Notre Dame that much this year. Georgetown's having a really bad year. I'm not sure what's going on with them. I know they lost a couple good guys last year, and they really haven't, reloaded. They're doing more rebuilding right now. But I have faith in John Thompson III. I mean, he comes from John Thompson, one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he comes from the finest stock. So, I mean, if he's half of his old man, he should be able to turn it around.
And then we had number 17 Duke squeaking by Wake Forest 85-83. And unranked Georgia Tech defeating number 14 Notre Dame 62-60.
How the fuck is Georgia Tech not ranked? They've just only beaten like every fucking hot elite team in the ACC. How the fuck are they not ranked?
Because they keep losing to shit teams. That's the problem.
So they beat up on good teams and they lose to shit teams.
Yes.
So they're... Oh my God. See, that's what makes my head hurt. It makes my fucking head hurt. Like, Georgia Tech has beaten Florida State. They've beaten fucking North Carolina. They've beaten fucking everybody. And they're not ranked.
I know. And actually, I was listening on the way home tonight. I was listening to the Clemson-Georgia Tech game. Clemson was whooping the piss out of Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech probably come back and win the game, didn't they?
No.
Well, good.
I don't know. I don't know because when I got out of the car, I know they were up by 20-plus points. But then again, that happened again last year at the ACC championships. Not the championship game, but the actual in the tournament, in the ACC tournament. They actually were up by 18, 19 points and ended up losing to Georgia Tech.
That's Clemson basketball for you, my friend. Listen, basketball is the shitty sport that holds you over between football and baseball here at Clemson. Speaking of, baseball is starting up really soon, and we need to go to a game because the tickets are very affordable. We can hang out in the Cajun Cafe, and hell, we could even do a live fucking show. We could actually do a show from Doug Kingsmore.
I'm actually excited to see how Beer does this year.
Oh, Seth Beers, he's worth the price of admission, dude. He really is. So is that Pat Krall. That guy can
Pat
pitch.
Kroll, yeah. He's
That
good.
dude can pitch.
I remember hearing his name numerous times last year, along with Beer.
I'm about to say, we're definitely going to be going to a game. Like I said, we might even do a live show from one of the games. You never know.
I really wanted to go one last year, but I wasn't able to do it.
No, we'll go to the Notre Dame game this year because Notre Dame's coming to town pretty early. We'll go to the Notre Dame game.
Just real quick before we move on, real quick story. I remember I came down here to visit, and I actually had my Notre Dame shorts on, which I'm wearing right now, my Notre Dame shirt, which I'm wearing right now, and a Notre Dame hat. And walked in there, and I was thinking, okay, I just want to look at the field, no big deal. I go down there, and they're going to have practice because it was a beautiful day out. And they were going to practice, and there were a bunch of people out there watching them practice. And I remember when I walked up there, and I had all my Notre Dame stuff on. It was like death stares.
They were looking at you like you were a fucking scout.
I mean, I am an older guy, and so, I mean, I kind of fit the bill. And then come in with Notre Dame shit on.
They probably thought, look at who the fuck's this hitting coach, this big fucking huge motherfucker. Like, he's probably a hitting coach. What the fuck's he here for?
So that was kind of interesting to me. It was funny. I was like, you kind of when you walk in the room and everybody just all of a sudden goes silent. That's kind of the way it was. Like, I walk up there and like everybody's just stopped and we're just like looking at me like, who's that guy? Is that a Notre Dame recruiter? Is that guy coming over here trying to steal Seth Beer from us?
No, they probably were like, I wonder what the hell he's doing, why he's in all that Notre Dame bullshit.
Whoa. It's not Notre Dame bullshit. It's Notre Dame greatness.
All I got to say is Manti Te'o. Or Manly. Isn't it Manly Te'o?
Manly Te'o, yeah.
Manly.
And I got a rebuttal to that. 13 national championships, just saying.
When's the last time y'all won a national title?
That's besides the point.
Oh, yeah. It was. I don't even think I was a twinkle in my dad's eye. I don't even think I was swimming in his nutsack when that happened.
Yeah, we won't get on that subject.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But moving on, Sunday we had number 1 Villanova just getting by number 12 Virginia 61-59. We had number 7 Arizona getting their 14th win in a row. Yes, you heard that right. 14 wins in a row, defeating Washington 77-66.
That's pretty impressive. 14. I don't care what sport it is. 14 wins in a row is hard.
Especially in basketball.
Because that shit can go night to night, floor to floor. You know, you could do fine one night and literally 3 nights later take a complete shit.
And we had unranked Nebraska shocking number 20 Purdue 83-80.
I didn't see that coming. I'm not going to lie. I remember thinking when we picked that game, Purdue should easily win this game.
I did too.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Then on Tuesday, it took overtime for number 8 Kentucky to beat unranked Georgia 90-81. That kind of surprised me because Georgia is not a good basketball team at all.
Now, I'm starting to think that Kentucky might find their way to the dance, and I think they might find their ass getting exited on the first round.
I would say first round, maybe second or third round.
They're not making it deep.
They won't make it deep. They won't make it to like a Sweet 8 or Elite 8.
I don't even think they're going to make it to the 16, dude.
No?
No. I don't care how good Calipari is. They're fucking falling apart.
See, I think the same thing for Duke. But I see them going out in the first, second round.
I do too. I honestly don't think Duke's going to make it very far either.
That's going to shock a lot of people because you always expect Duke to be up there in the Sweet 16 every year.
Well, a lot of these mid-majors are coming up in this tournament, and they're starting to win, dude. I mean, let's face it. A mid-major could win this tournament this year.
To me, I mean, the big teams, and they're not even ACC team, they're not Big East teams. They're not even SEC teams. Arizona and Gonzaga. Those teams right there right now, looking at what's happened so far, there are two teams right there that I almost want to say are a lock into making it into the Elite Eight and possibly to the Final Four.
I like Zaga to the 16 for sure. I do.
I do too. I mean, they're just playing good ball right now.
No, that they always seem to make it. Like they just it's a constant goal of theirs, and they seem to accomplish it.
Another team that, again, I think is going to be another one of those teams, like you said, Duke, Kentucky, is going to make an early exit in the NCC March Madness. Number 12, squeaking by unranked Pittsburgh, 80-78.
That's what I mean, man. These games are so close, and you have teams that should be blowing other teams out, either barely squeaking by or losing close games. I mean, that's the parody of basketball, though.
It is. I mean, you know how they talk about any given Sunday, any given Saturday?
Just any given night in basketball.
Any given night in basketball. I mean, it really is.
You could be the number one team and get your ass whipped by somebody who ain't even ranked.
It happened. Look what happened last week. You had number 1, number 2, and number 4 go down, all within like 1 or 2 days.
Just boom, 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 like dominoes.
And you're just like, wow, did that really just happen? Villanova went down. Kansas went down. Kentucky went down. You're just like, wow. That's 3 really good teams, top 5 ranked teams, went down in 1 or 2 nights.
That fast.
That quick. In a blink of an eye. Done. So, I want to kind of go over what we did last week in our picks, how we are overall for the year. So, last week, we actually are 8-7. There's 2 games still to be played. They're playing right now. I'm going to have to check on them here in a few minutes when we start going over our picks on how we did. But right now we're 8-7 at 53% pick rate, which is not bad at all. And overall we're 15-15 at 50%.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
No, not at all.
I mean, considering we're not basketball guys, we're picking at 50% on picks.
For not being basketball guys, that's pretty damn good.
I mean, I love basketball, don't get me wrong. I am a college basketball guy. I do like college basketball, not as much as college football, but I love college basketball. But, you know, picking at 50% is not bad. I mean, I know we're only 2 weeks into doing our picks, so, you know, time will tell to see how we do. But looking at some of our picks last week, on Thursday, we picked number 19 Cincinnati to defeat number 24 Xavier, and they did 86-78. We had Virginia Tech and North Carolina playing each other. We took North Carolina, and they won. And number 10, Oregon and Utah playing each other, and Oregon won. We actually finished 3-0 on Thursday, which is not bad at all.
Undefeated on Thursday, hell yeah.
So, I mean, that's not bad at all. And, I mean, considering, like I said before, you know, we're not basketball guys. We're more football guys. So, you know, for us to pick at that high of a rate, I mean, it's not bad at all.
No, I think we did pretty good.
So, you know, we had hang on 1 second, where's that paper at? I lost the paper. I can't believe I did that. I lost the paper. See, what kind of show are we running? See, that's why we can't do shows at midnight.
No, it's
because we start getting delirious, and, you know, we lose papers, and we start going off on tangents and all that kind of shit. And eventually we just, you know, do shit like this where, you know, I have to fill air while I'm looking through my papers because I can't find what I'm looking for. And it's frustrating as hell. But, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and move on because fuck it. I can't find it right now, and I'm not going to waste you guys' time trying to look for it.
The organization level is not at a premium.
No, I'm telling you, it's them late night shows, I'm telling you, they kill us every time.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do?
So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next thing we want to talk about, and that's new rankings came out yesterday. And we have a new number 1.
That's true.
The team we just talked about, Gonzaga, 22-0 at number 1 spot.
They finally gave Gonzaga their just desserts.
They finally gave them their due.
It took long fuck enough.
I know.
You figure you would have got to win the whole goddamn season undefeated.
Well, that's because they've been dick sucking Kansas and Kentucky and all them other teams that are always up there.
Duke and North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. They've been dick sucking them for most of the year. But, when you lose, tough games like all these top 5 and 10 teams did, you have no justice of putting them up in the top 5.
That's true, especially when there's more deserving teams that should be up there.
So at number 2, we have Baylor at 20-1. We have number 3, Kansas at 19-2. Villanova at number 4 at 20-2. Boys, we just talked about 14-game winning streak. Arizona at number 5 at 20-2. Louisville at 6 at 18-4. Country Roads, West Virginia at number 7 at 17-4. Kentucky dropped all the way down to 8th at 17-4. Virginia at 9 at 16-4. And Wisconsin ran out the top 10 at 18-3.
That's actually a pretty good list of who's who, too. Those are all very strong teams. A lot of them have very, very high caliber coaches. So it's not shocking to see a lot of these names up there in the top 10. And to be quite honest, they cycle in and out. This is like the same top 10 list, only they're just cycling spots.
They really are. I mean, last week you had no really new teams coming into the top 25. They were just all the teams just cycling around.
Yep, just shuffling spots.
So at number 11, we had UCLA at 19-3. Number 12, North Carolina 19-4. Oregon at number 13 at 19-3. Cincinnati at 19-2 at 14. Florida State at 15 at 18-4. Butler at 18-4 at 16. Maryland 19-2. I can't believe Maryland is 19-2. That's surprising.
No, they've always had a really good basketball program, though.
Yeah, but they're playing in the ACC again, another tough division.
Oh, they're not in the ACC.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they switched.
Yeah, I was like, because they wouldn't have a 19-2 record in the ACC.
Oh, no wonder they're 19-2.
2-19.
See, I keep forgetting Maryland list. I hate that. I hate when they do the shuffle ups. Because then you have a bunch of good teams come into the ACC from the Big East this past couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And you had Maryland leave the ACC and went to the Big Ten. Is that right?
They did.
So Big Ten. They're not great in basketball.
No, their bread and butter's in football.
So we have Maryland at 19-2 at number 17. St. Mary's at 18 at 19-2. The Shamecocks at 19 at 17-4, and they're actually having a pretty good season.
Yeah, Frank Martin knows what he's doing.
I actually listened to a couple of their games this season, and they play good basketball.
Apparently that one, they got a kid down there in Thornwell. Apparently he's the one to watch when they're playing.
He's definitely, I've heard his name numerous times on the radio, because they don't play him on, of course they don't play it on WCCP because they're Clemson radio.
Right.
But if you go down to 104.9, which is normally a rock station, they play the Gamecocks football games, and they also play the basketball games too. So it gives me a little bit of a chance when I come home at nighttime to listen to some of the games.
It's not too bad because you can switch back and forth and you can hear what each one of them's talking about. And it's pretty cool because sometimes they'll even have simultaneous games. You have Clemson basketball on 105.5, and then you just turn it 6 spots down. You got Clemson, South Carolina basketball, which is pretty cool because, like you said, you can switch back and forth if you so choose to do so.
Exactly. And at number 20, we have Notre Dame at 17-5. Duke fell all the way back to 21 at 16-5, which, honestly, at 16-5, you really should not be in the top 25.
The only reason you are is because of your fucking name.
And the division you're in.
The good graces of those who suck your damn dick.
You have Creighton at 22 at 19-3. Purdue at 23 at 17-5. And they're another one of those teams I said a couple weeks ago. They kind of they sneaked their way into the NCAA March Madness. And then somehow they just surprise you and they end up, making a little run into the NCAA March Madness.
Yeah, some teams can turn on the burners late in the season. Some can't. Some run their gas tanks completely dry before they even get anywhere near it. Like Clemson. Even if we had the talent, we never have the fucking gas. We run out of that shit. Because especially playing in the ACC, that's a brutal basketball schedule. I don't think it's up for debate. The ACC is the toughest basketball conference. It's not even close.
Oh, hands down. Hands down, they're number one. And then I have to probably put Big East in the SEC, Big East in the SEC, right behind them.
I agree.
And then rounding up top 25, you have at number 24, you have Florida at 16-5, and Northwestern at 18-4.
That's about how you expect it to go.
Yeah, I mean Florida. I mean they're not as good as what they used to be.
No, Billy Donovan days are over.
Yeah, Billy Donovan's done moved on.
So to give all the listeners out there the update for the scores of tonight's game, you have number 3 Kansas versus number 2 Baylor, and you had number 3 Kansas defeating number 2 Baylor 73-68. You also had Villanova at number 4 facing an unranked Providence, and they beat unranked Providence 66-57. You also had Virginia Tech taking on Virginia. Virginia was ranked at number 9, and they handily whipped Virginia Tech's ass 71-48. Like, that wasn't even a game. Another ass whooping is you have UCLA at 11, who beat the piss out of Washington State 95-79. That was a good beating. Another close game. You had ranked 14 Cincinnati. That's correct, number 14. They faced Tulsa, who is unranked, and they beat them 57-55 in a close game. So apparently Tulsa gave them quite the game. Then you have number 15 Florida State blowing out Miami 75-57, which that happens in the ACC. You'll play a good game and then boom, turn around and just get monstered by another team. You had number 19 South Carolina handily defeating LSU at 88-63. You also have number 23 Purdue in a pretty good matchup with number 25 Northwestern. But Northwestern had nothing for Purdue as Purdue stomped them 80-59 in a game that was never even close. Apparently Purdue ran away with it very early. Like, it's even saying here that they had little to no trouble with Northwestern. So for the most part, your rankings are going to stay the same. But I'd have to say the one that's going to have the most effect would be the obvious first one, when you have a number 3 beating a number 2. So now they're probably going to either flip-flop spaces, or Kansas obviously goes up to 2, where Baylor may fall to 4 or 5, depending on how far down they're going to go. Because, let's face it, Baylor's a pretty damn good team. This is only their second loss.
And I mean, honestly, what's great about this is the rankings come out on Tuesday. This is Wednesday. So we still have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Tuesday. Actually, not the games on Tuesday because they actually come out early before the games start.
Correct.
So you have now till Monday where anything can happen. Any given day, any of these ranked teams, I mean, hell, Gonzaga could be number 1 and lose their first game.
And chances are good they probably will, from the pressure mounting on them.
I mean, it's tough being number 1.
Fuck yeah,
you got a target on your back. Everybody wants to beat number 1.
Everybody wants a piece of your ass when you're number 1. That's right.
So let's go ahead and get into our picks for the week. And speaking of number 1 Gonzaga, our first game that we're picking on Thursday night, we have number 1 Gonzaga testing out that number 1 spot against our boys, the Mormons of BYU.
BYU's going to win that game.
What? You think that's where the upset's going to happen?
Yep, because no one sees it coming.
See, I have a feeling they're going to beat BYU, but they could struggle later down the road. You know, later in the week they play somebody else, and they could end up losing that game.
I'm not betting against the Mormons. I'm not doing it.
Didn't do it in football, and not going to do it in basketball?
Exactly. I'm not going against the Mormons.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and take the upset. You know, I mean,
I know you think I'm crazy, but
you are crazy, but I've been around you long enough that I know you're crazy, so it doesn't affect me as much.
Fair enough.
I know you're a crazy son of a bitch, and I know that.
He's like, we've seen you put it on display multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times. I've seen it happen. So that doesn't surprise me. You really think a unranked BYU is going to be a undefeated number 1 Gonzaga. But we'll go ahead and we'll take BYU. I think Gonzaga is actually going to win this game handily, but I also think that Gonzaga might get upset between now and next rankings coming out. I don't think it's going to happen at BYU.
I don't know, man. Something about those Mormons. They're on their own court. And you think Gonzaga should be able to roll in here and just wrap up these golden plate having Mormons, but I'm telling you, don't count them out.
So our next game we have Mizzou, aka Missouri, at number 24 Florida. Me personally, I like Florida in this game. I don't see Florida having any issues with Mizzou.
I don't either.
I mean, Mizzou sucks in football, and they're really not that great in basketball.
Let's just face it. The whole state of Missouri just sucks at life. It's why your state is closely, think about this. Your state could easily be misconstrued as the word misery. Missouri, misery, pretty fucking close to me.
I don't know how many times I've heard that this year. Numerous times.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
So I'm very comfortable.
Where's that shithole Ferguson located? In Missouri.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't see anybody lining up to move to fucking Ferguson. Do you?
I don't want to go to Ferguson.
No.
Hell, I don't even want to go to Chicago.
No.
I don't want to go to New York State.
No.
Definitely don't want to go to New Jersey. Fuck New Jersey.
Yeah, fuck New Jersey with a 18-foot dildo.
I mean, Trump, if we're going to build walls,
wall them fuckers in.
Let's wall all the way around Jersey. Lock them fuckers in so they can't get in or out.
Or, to be fair, wall them off on 3 sides because they got the entire Atlantic Ocean in which they can walk into if they want to do us a favor.
Yeah, we're not that lucky.
No, sadly not.
So we'll go ahead and take number 24 Florida over Mizzou. On Saturday, we have a lot of good games. We have ranked teams versus ranked teams in all our matchups, and I'm loving it. Because this is where it gets interesting.
Hey,
this is where we show who's man and who's not.
Hey, we like these kind of matchups, though. It makes for good viewing.
Good viewing, good picking.
Damn right.
So our first one, we have number 23 Purdue at number 17 Maryland. And, somewhere in there, I'm thinking Purdue could beat Maryland.
Not in College Park, though.
But then again, I'm thinking they're playing in College Park, and Maryland is just one like Virginia Tech in football in Blacksburg.
It's a hard place to win.
It's a hard place to win. So I think Maryland is going to win this game, but it's not going to be as a big a win as people think it's going to be.
They're not cakewalking it.
They're not capable. They're not going to win by more than 10 points.
Oh, agreed.
I mean, it's going to be a close game. Might even come down like 5 or 6 points.
Could come down to the foul line.
Could come down to the foul line. I mean, who knows? Come down to the last shot of the game. Oh, but I think Maryland's going to win this game, but thank God we're not doing point spreads or anything because I'd have to actually maybe take Purdue on a point spread. So we're going to go ahead and take number 17 Maryland. In our next game, we have the team we've been talking about a lot tonight. 14-game win streak, number 5 Arizona, playing at number 13 Oregon. And I'm thinking, honestly, I think this is where the run stops. For some reason, I'm really liking Oregon at home. I mean, Purdue, I mean, they're just, not Purdue, I'm sorry. Oregon is just one of those teams that, they're ranked 13 for a reason. Because they've had a really good season so far. And, playing in a rival game, against another Big Ten team, I just see this is where it ends. I mean, congratulations, Arizona. 14-game win streak is great, but party's over.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. You can't keep it up forever.
In the words of what my dad would always say, turn off the lights. The party's over.
Time to go the fuck home.
So I'm very comfortable taking Oregon over Arizona. I mean, again, this has been another one of these really good games, but I think Oregon's going to end up squeaking it out in the end. Our next game, we have number 20 Notre Dame at number 12 North Carolina.
I'm taking Notre Dame.
Yeah, I just have no confidence in North Carolina this year.
Oh, I got confidence in them. I just don't like them.
Well, I don't like them either, but in the same sense, to me, I don't know. They don't have the same feel as the old North Carolina team. They don't have that feel of, man, this is a superior squad that should definitely make it into the Elite Eight, Final Four, maybe go to the championship game.
Instead of just barely limping into the tournament.
Yeah, I for some reason I'm not confident with North Carolina. So I agree with you, and plus, I mean, I know I'm not a Notre Dame fan in basketball, but I'm liking Notre Dame. But we'll go ahead and take Notre Dame over North Carolina. And our last game of Saturday is another big game. We have number 8 Kentucky at number 24 Florida.
I like Kentucky for that one.
Yeah, I don't see Kentucky having any issues. I think they bounced back from having a rough week this last week, and I think they're going to handily win this game. I say they win by 10 or more points.
It wouldn't shock me if they go down there and put on a clinic. I mean, Florida they're all right, but they're not that good.
So we're going to go ahead and take Kentucky over Florida. On Sunday, we have your boys in Clemson playing at Florida State.
You already know who I'm taking.
Oh, I know. And I put this game on there just because it's Clemson and we're around that area. But
you know damn well I'm not taking them. They suck. You already know how I feel about shitty-ass Clemson football. I don't even want to go on a fucking rant because Brad Brownell has already suffered enough of my fucking verbal abuse. I can't say it any other way. He fucking sucks. He needs to go. You know, how many more fucking years are you going to let this asshole hang around and keep sucking? I don't want to hear your excuses. I don't want to hear about it's the new Little John. Blah, fucking blah, fucking blah. All right? The motherfucker cannot win. I don't care that he can coach. I don't care if you like him. He's a good guy. He's X's and O's. Shut the fuck up. He ain't brought no hardware home, has he? Next.
So moving on, we got Monday night. We have one big game and one game I think it's a rival game, but I think it's going to end up being a blowout. The first game is the big game. We have two top teams, 10 team playing. We have number 6 Louisville playing at number 9 Virginia.
I like number 9 Virginia.
At home?
I do.
Why?
Simply because Virginia has damn good point guard play. And 2, Louisville apparently does not play well at Virginia when they go up to Charlottesville. They don't play that well there. Same way Virginia don't play well when they go out there to Louisville. It's one of those, it's kind of like Duke, North Carolina. Whoever normally has home court advantage is the one that's going to come out victorious.
So we're going to go ahead and take number 9 Virginia at home. In our other game we have on Monday night, we have number 3 Kansas playing at Kansas State. Now, Kansas State hasn't lost many games this year, but again, they're Kansas State. And they're playing against big-time Kansas. It's a rival game, in-state rival, but I have a feeling that Kansas is going to have no issues. Again, another one of those teams that they're going to win by double digits and have no issues at all.
This is one of those, your older brother's in high school, you're in middle school. You try to take him, and then your big brother does what he does and fucks you up just so that you can come try again next time. So, yeah, there's no way in hell I'm taking K-State. No.
On Tuesday, we have number 20 Notre Dame at Wake Forest.
I like Notre Dame to win that game. I don't care that it's at Wake Forest. I think Notre Dame's superior, and they should be able to handily roll in there and whip their ass.
I definitely agree. I don't think Notre Dame's going to have any issues. I think Notre Dame's big issues are when you play the top teams.
Exactly.
When you play North Carolina, when you play Duke, even though Duke has not been as good this year.
They got to get over that hump.
They have to get over that hump. Louisville, another team.
Right.
Syracuse, even though they're not ranked.
It's one of those deals.
It's one of those deals that just, they're good basketball teams. And our last game actually we have 2 games, I'm sorry. We have 2 games on Tuesday more. We have number 16 Butler at Marquette in a Big East matchup. I'm liking Marquette.
You see,
for the upset.
I want to take Butler, but yeah, I'm liking Marquette for an upset too.
For some reason, when I looked at that game, it just something had my eyes just stay on Marquette. It said, take Marquette. Something, that little voice in the back of my head is saying, Chris, take Marquette.
Even though you don't want to.
Even though I don't want to.
Do it.
Because they're going to upset them. And Marquette has had a pretty good year this year. I think they've maybe lost like 5 or 6 games this year. which is not bad in the Big East.
But they're losing close games.
But they're losing close games. So I'm comfortable taking Marquette in the upset. And then our last game, we have a big SEC rival. We have Alabama playing at number 19 South Carolina.
Sucks this isn't football. It actually might be interesting if it was football.
Yeah, it's not football, badass.
No, South Carolina's going to kill Bama.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Alabama has zero chance to win this game. Not only do you have to play the better team, but you're going to their house to do it. I have no faith in you getting on that bus and going to Columbia and winning, especially not when Frank Martin and his team are actually playing really fucking good basketball right now.
And then our last slate of games on Wednesday night, we have number 2 Baylor playing at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, again, is one of those teams that they've only lost 5 or 6 games this year, playing pretty good ball. But it's number 2 Baylor. I don't see Baylor having any issues with them at all.
If Doug Gottlieb were coaching Oklahoma State, I'd say it's a different story, but he's not. Which, if Oklahoma State's out there listening, whenever it's time for a new coach, I think you're pretty safe going with Doug Gottlieb. Not only is he alumni, he knows the fucking game. Just a little hints. Throw that little bone out there to you.
Our next game, we have UCF playing at number 14 Cincinnati.
See, I want to say Cincinnati should win this game, and they should, but goddamn UCF.
It's going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be.
It is, but having said that, if Cincinnati is worth a fuck at all, they will not lose this game. You can't.
You can't lose it.
You can't.
You can't lose to an unranked team.
Especially not UCF.
Yeah, exactly. Not UCF. We'll go ahead and take number 14 Cincinnati. And our last game of our picks, we have our boys, Country Roads, number 7 West Virginia, playing at Oklahoma. Again, another one of those teams that's had a pretty good year. If it was a football, this would be a hell of a game. But it's not football, it's basketball.
Nobody held, no fucking win for Oklahoma. West Virginia is going to steamroll them.
Multiple, double-digit win.
I don't know about a double-digit win, but they'll control the game. There won't be a time where they're getting in any danger.
All right, so that's our pitch for the week. We'll definitely be back next week and do our, let you guys know how we did.
So far, doing good though.
So far, 50%, I'm proud of that.
Hey, so far, so good.
And once I find that paper that I mysteriously lost and I can't find now, we have 2 more games this week that are still going on or might be done now that I have to check on and see who won and lost. We could be above 50% by the time we do our show next week.
This is very true. This is very, very true.
I mean, above 50%, I'm proud of that. I mean, hell, again, we're more football guys than basketball guys, but we wanted to keep this thing going and keep doing what we're doing. So,
we assumed the mantle.
Hell, we'll start with college basketball. So before we get out of here tonight, I want to do one more thing. This week marked a huge, huge event. A guy that's been in radio and television for a long, long time. I have a lot of respect for this guy. I know you don't have as much respect. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Dickie V. We already know where you sit on that situation. But I have a lot of respect for this guy. I remember when I grew up, I watched this guy every year during March Madness covering the games. I mean, he's a legend in broadcasting, and he's sorely going to be missed. Brent Musburger signed off for the final time.
Yeah, I don't know. Am I supposed to cry because Brent Turdberger is finally hanging it up?
Badass. It's a legend of college basketball announcing.
He's a legend of being a fucking New York liberal little bitch. I mean, I remember back when he was too busy being a pussy and he didn't fucking defend Jimmy the Greek when Jimmy went on there and said something stupid about black athletes, which, okay, he said something dumb, but of course all these little fucking sissy-ass pansy bitch maids They don't want to back nobody up. They're just like, oh, it's all about me and my career. And you know what? I'm sick of Musburger. Not only is he a fucking confirmed Clemson hater, he's also a fucking confirmed pervert because he wouldn't fucking leave that Alabama quarterback's woman alone during that one game. I mean, he might as well just whipped his old wrinkly dick out, started pounding his fucking pudding. But I'm sorry, dude. I got no respect for Musburger. Fuck him. Fuck Bob Costas. Fuck all. You know who's good? Al Michaels and Vern Lundquist. You know why? Because they're not political hacks and they just call a game like it is. So, from one to another, Musburger, go fuck yourself and enjoy retirement, you cocksucker. Wasn't it you making fun of Clemson and their ballyhooed offense this season? Remember that? I remember that little snide fucking comment at the Auburn game. So how's that national championship working out for you, you old stupid liberal fuck? Go back to New York City, lock yourself in your high rise, fucking die, and just shut the fuck up already and get the fuck out of the way. Because let me tell you something. You haven't been fucking relevant in a long time. So fuck you, Musburger. And your fucking career. And the motherfuckers that hired you.
Well, badass, I know you just explained how much of hate you have for him, but for the audience and the people who do love Musburger, I wanted to play a little clip for you guys. This was the final send-off. If last ever, you're not going to hear from him again.
Oh, the horror.
I know you're
the
so
tragedy.
Sad. Hold on, let me wipe them tears away from your eyes. But this is his final send-off. You know, me personally, this is Burger speaking. Me personally, I have a lot of respect for you. I grew up watching you and have a lot of respect for what you've done. Badass, not as much, but, you know, it is what it is. But here's his final send-off. Brent, here you go.
Here you go, Turd Burger.
You are looking live. You are looking live. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Welcome aboard. I'm Brent Musburger along with Rick Barry. Welcome to our brand new home. Welcome, everybody, to Belmont Park. All right, big fella, I predict stardom for you. Take your head off to Mr. Jimmy Johnson. He went out with guns blazing on a dusty street in South Bend, Indiana. Rags to riches just went riches to riches. Today, Jeff Gordon makes his 500th career start. There will be no dynasty. That's it. No number has done it. Rick Barry is coming alive. He's going to try to score. He went for it all. A diving pass for a touchdown. Holy cow. This is for all the Tostitos. A perfect ending to an imperfect system. Garhart turnaround shot in the air. It's good. Moody flushed. Throws it down. Caught by Boston College. I don't believe it. Deep, deep. Billings is going to the championship. At the buzzer, they poured on its way. Oh, my goodness. It gave him a facial. Saved the limited children. You know, I knew it was going to be good, Parker, but I have no idea what we were in for. Folks, I've had the best seat in the house. Thanks for sharing it. I'll see you down the road.
Yep, Brent, thank you for all you've done. From Burger, I know badasses are going to agree with me, but from Burger, good luck. Thank you for what you've done, and good luck in retirement.
Now get the fuck out of the way and let somebody better take your spot.
All right, guys. Well, this has been a really weird show. We've had some mishaps. You know, again, I blame a lot on starting a show really late like we have. We're doing the Burning the Midnight Oil as you know, we've done before. And the show just, you know.
2 words come to mind for next week. Show prep.
Yeah, show prep, definitely.
Show prep. We're both going to work on that one.
Yeah, we kind of dropped the ball. You know, I got to say it's partially my fault because I've been really busy this week. My boss went on vacation, and I just have not had time to do show prep like I usually do. But next week, we're going to be back again. Do it like we do every Wednesday night. Next week, I promise it's going to be a lot better than what this week was. No more mishaps, because we're not about that.
No, well, I mean, to be fair, we've been having some really good episodes, so There had to be one that was kind of that came along.
And this is the one that's
But that's what happens when you start way late. I mean, it happens. I mean, what are you going to do?
But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this week. We'll be back next week, talk some more sports, talk about college basketball, go over the new rankings, how we did on our picks, and then do our picks for the next week. So, guys, remember, I know it's not up there yet. I've been real busy, as I said before.
Yeah, you've only got a couple days left because I remember a couple weeks ago we said if you didn't have this done by the Super Bowl, you had to do something. So we're going to go back into the archives and see what that is because you swore to the people this would be done before the Super Bowl. And it's getting down to it. You got 1, 2, 3. You got 3 days.
Well, you know me, badass. I'm not one to do stuff ahead of time. I'm always one of them people that wait till the last minute, barely get by the skin of my teeth. I mean, I did it in college. I mean, I remember times where I had a project due or a paper due, and it was like last minute. I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning writing a paper or finishing a project up. I mean, you know me, badass.
You are a procrastinator.
I am a procrastinator. But, guys, I am off now the next 3 days. So, tomorrow, I am downloading the software Nero that your wife found. Again, thank you so much to your wife for finding that for me. I've been very frustrated trying to find a good editing software. She found one. I did some research on it. I like it.
Actually, it's very user-friendly, too.
Oh, it's very user-friendly. I actually looked a couple YouTube videos up using the editing Nero. I like what I saw. So, you know,
It's promising.
It's promising. I'm really looking forward to doing it. And it's very cheap. So
We're not getting raped in the ass like Adobe wants to.
Yeah.
By the way, Adobe, fuck you. Who the fuck do you assholes think you are? I don't need to take out a fucking second mortgage on a house or sell my soul to the devil for your program. So, fuck you. From the Burger and Badass show, fuck you, Adobe.
They want $20 a month. Yes, $20 a month. So you think about it.
Do I get a martini and a blowjob with that for $20? I mean, what the fuck? $20 a month for what?
Not even a reach around.
Not even gonna call me the next day?
No breakfast in the morning.
Nothing.
No tap on the shoulder.
See?
Nothing.
You know what? I never thought I'd say this, Adobe, but you kind of look like the guy that would fuck somebody in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give them a reach around. Fucking sorry sons of bitches you are.
But tomorrow, I'm actually going to get up early. I'm going to download the software, and I'm going to start editing. So I'm hoping by midday tomorrow, I'm hoping to have a couple episodes up on our website.
There you go.
We have the Burger and Badass Show at Facebook.com or the Burger and Badass Show at YouTube.com.
It's time.
It's time. It's time to go live.
It's Ben time.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I love that clip. That's like one of the best clips ever.
Yeah, it is.
So that's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next Wednesday to do it like we are every Wednesday. Episode 20.
I know.
20. Wow. I think we're 20 episodes into this already.
I know.
It seemed like just yesterday we were like talking about doing this idea. And then it seemed like just yesterday we actually did our first show. Now we're on show 20.
I want to put this into perspective for you, man. 26 shows is half a year. It's 52 weeks in a year.
That's, wow.
I know, right?
That made me really think there.
I know, right?
Man, so we're only 6 shows away from being...
Right?
Wow.
I know, right?
But you know what? As long as we're doing what we love, and you know, guys, again, we're not Vegas. We're just 2 guys from South Carolina.
Doing what we love.
Making our picks.
That's it. No bullshit. That's it. I know y'all keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, but there is no other shoe. It ain't gonna drop.
There are no other show. But that's going to do it for this week. We're back again next Wednesday. Early show.
Yes.
No late bullshit.
No late shows.
I'm done doing these late shows because we just had too many little mistakes tonight. And I don't know about you, but I felt rushed doing the show today.
No, that's what happens when we come unprepared, my friend.
Yep. Because our pants down.
That's right.
But guys, we'll be back again next Wednesday. Like I said, doing what we do. And, definitely check us out. We send requests out to everybody starting probably tomorrow afternoon, maybe even to the next day. We're going to get all the requests out, start putting the word out. Guys, definitely listen to us. Hate on us, love on us. Tell us how you feel. We love hate.
Yeah, seriously, bring all that hate right here. Bring it. You think I give a fuck? You obviously don't know me.
In the words of The Rock, just bring it.
For real. Bring all you fucking hate. Bring all of it. In fact, load up your fucking knapsack, your book bag, your granny's trunk, all of it. Bring all the shit you can bring.
So, guys, we'll see you next week. For Burger, we'll see you. Badass, you have anything to add before we close out?
Somebody call 911.
She lives for me, says she lives for motivation. One motivation, she comes round and she goes down with me, and I make you smile like a top.